One of the NBA's youngest and most talented backcourts plays for the New York Knicks, and Michael Ray Richardson and Ray Williams. Here is Richardson at 6'5", feeding baseline to Ray Williams for 2 points. One of the outstanding rookies in the NBA, 7'1" center Bill Cartwright, trying to become the first rookie since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to finish in the top 10 in scoring and field goal percentage. This big guy is averaging 22 points a game. The Big E, Alvin Hayes, having a great year for Washington. 9th in scoring, 7th in rebounding, playing more now due to the injury to Bob Dandridge. And the Big E, from his patented spot, averaging 22 points a game. John Williamson picked up on a trade from the New Jersey Nets. 7 times he scored 20 or more points, and the Bullets have won 6 of those games. The Knicks versus the Bullets.
The NBA on CBS. Today's game is sponsored by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Ortho, makers of dependable lawn and garden products. Our concern for your lawn and garden is always growing. And by Rolaids for acid indigestion or heartburn. Rolaids spells relief.
Welcome to the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland, where this afternoon the Washington Bullets play host to the New York Knicks. This is the 5th meeting of the year between these two ball clubs. They have split on 4 previous occasions. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Bender, along with Keith Erickson. The Knicks have won 14 of their last 24. Keith, they're a very talented team, but a young team that's erratic at times.
Very inconsistent, but for the last 3 weeks, the backcourt pair has just been tremendous. Ray Williams and Michael Ray Richardson. Last night in the game, they had 58 points between them, 11 rebounds, and 24 assists. That's just unbelievable.
On the other hand, Washington has been playing very well. They've won 9 of their last 13. They're trying to make it into the NBA Finals for the 3rd consecutive year. But, Keith, they've had all kinds of injuries.
They sure have. Bobby Dandridge has only played in 13 of the last 15 games. Missed 13 of the last 15. Mitch Kupchak has had that back surgery. Has just not been the same as he was last year. Their strength up front is really hurting.
Let's check what happened last night. Before a sellout crowd in Madison Square Garden, Boston defeated the Knicks by 3. And then San Antonio was held under 100 points for the first time in 140 games. And then out west, they had a real surprise, Chicago winning.
Chicago beat Portland on a 20-foot jumper by Ricky Sobers with 2 seconds to play. And San Diego, with 44 points out of Lloyd Free, beat Phoenix in a big game.
And you can see now 3 teams have already clinched playoff spots in the East.
They have, and then 1.5 games separating Boston and Philadelphia, and you see only 2 games separating these 5 teams vying for those last 3 playoff spots.
And so you can see how important this game is as the Knicks square off against the Bullets. Ready to go is Bill Oakes along with Paul Mahalik, and there's our starting lineups. Knight, Demick, Cartwright, Williams, and Richardson. As we mentioned, Dandridge is not in there, and Greg Ballard has been opening at that forward spot in place of the veteran. There's the Big E, Alvin Hayes. Boy, he is really thriving on more minutes since Bob Dandridge has gone out of there.
You'd think at his age, after 12 years in the league, that he'd slow down, but he's just getting stronger.
Greg Ballard will come down with the Washington basketball as it's off to Jim Clemens, who started his year with the New York Knicks and then was picked up by the trade as the playmaker. Into the Big E. Here comes Toby Knight. The Knicks with a tough loss have got to turn right around here today and try to pick up a win. Larry Bird had 29 points for Boston in that win last night. Here comes Toby Knight, the left-hander. Inside, and Bill Cartwright. You get it that deep, it's all over.
That's exactly right. And what a strong move by Cartwright. He's learning very quickly. Getting inside, you just take that ball right to the basket.
2 very physical teams. And here's Greg Ballard, the 3rd-year man out of the University of Oregon. Alvin Hayes, the Big E, answers at the other end.
He's been doing that for 12 years. That patented shot in the lane. He turns around and falls away, and hardly anybody can get to that shot.
Michael Ray Richardson and Ray Williams. You're going to be treated to outstanding backcourt play by these two. Cartwright turnaround, and Boy, he always could score. He's had no problems putting the points in here in the NBA.
Oh, and it's not taking him long to turn around and fire that ball. 2 quick shots.
Kevin Greavy, who's been having problems shooting. He's only shooting 39% from the field. Ballard. Wes Unseld, who had 23 rebounds in that win Friday night. Three-pointer by Greavy. He didn't even get the iron on that one. Here comes Ray Williams. Williams with a big night last night with 34 points. Demick brings it out. Here's Williams again, and a whistle, a loose ball foul. No, 3 seconds in the lane.
3 seconds. Good job of getting that offensive rebound by Demick. Trying to set Ray Williams is limping a little bit right now.
He is limping. You see him now as he comes across to pick up Jim Clemens.
You know, that happens sometimes when you miss a shot, though.
Here's Unseld. He's looking the excellent passer that he is. Finds Greavy on the baseline. Richardson got a hand on that one. Ballard follows.
Well, that's where Washington over the years have been so strong with Ballard and with Kupchak. And without Kupchak, they've been having their problems on the boards.
Both these teams have won once on enemy courts. Nice move inside by Ray Williams. Boy, Williams had 35 points on Tuesday, 34 points last night. He's really playing well.
The last 3 weeks he's been sensational.
Clemens trying to move on the lane, and picking it away is Tommy Knight. One of the surprises, the former Notre Dame standout. Michael Ray Richardson leads the NBA in assists and steals, and there's a steal by Clemens. Off to Greavy, 2-on-1. Back is Knight. Fine play by Greavy.
Beautiful play. Changing hands when he got up into the air. Let the defensive man run by. Uncontested on the layup.
So Ballard scoring for Washington. Greavy, Hayes, and Ballard all contributing 2 points. Here's Demick, former University of Arizona pivot, who's been moved to the forward spot since joining New York. Richardson at 6'5". Clemens got a hand on that. Good defense, but Cartwright comes away with it. That patented jumper, he got it, and he's fouled by Unseld.
Isn't that phenomenal? Cartwright has hit his first 3 shots coming out here. He's been playing great all year long, and he's just been playing so many minutes without big Marvin Webster in there. You see the rebound. Missed shot completely. That helps a little bit when the ball doesn't hit the rim.
You know something? He's hit 3 of 3 from the field. Already has 2 rebounds. You can't shoot much better than that, can you? And Cartwright, by the way, is shooting 80% from the free throw line, which is remarkable for a big man.
That's right. Has a rather unique style when he shoots that free throw. He looks like a bowler getting down to let that ball go.
9-6. Favor of the Knicks. Greavy with Richardson on him. Elvin Hayes, a whistle spotted inside. And they're going to give that foul. Looks like they're going to give it to Demick. Demick pushing off inside, and that will be his first foul.
He sure did. Jimmy Clemens set a screen, and Demick ran right through him, knocked him flat on the ground, and then raised his hand zip to say, I didn't even touch him.
Ballard hit that, even though Toby Knight had a hand on the ball. Ballard with 4 points. Very quickly, the transition basketball at Knight out to Richardson. Here's Knight. He loves that shot. Trying to follow is Demick, hustling the boards.
Oh, that's a super play by Demick inside. Going one-on-one with Elvin Hayes, trying to get that rebound, and Hayes is really strong.
Demick averaging just a little over 7 points a game. He was one of 3 first-round draft picks this year for the Knicks. Elvin Hayes. That is a shot that he will shoot every chance he gets.
He sure will. Double team that time, and he still was able to put it up.
And now the Bullets with a chance to take the lead. Down by 1, 11-10. Kevin Greavy to try to do that. And his shot continues to desert him. He's really had some difficult times. He gets into those streaks where he can't seem to get the ball to go in for him. You mentioned shooting 39%, and he's a much better shooter than that. Richardson, Cartwright. Cartwright, a mismatch, and he took advantage of it.
That's the smartest thing to do. We're talking about Bill Cartwright and how quickly he's making himself play like a veteran out there. You get a small man on you, you call for the ball, and you shoot it right over him like he did that time.
Well, he's 4 for 4 from the field. He may be headed for a big afternoon before this is all over. And another foul on the New York Knicks. And it's going to be Ray Williams, his first. And here's a halftime score. Atlanta already clinched that Central Division. Look at that.
And they're still rolling.
And Houston having a tough time with Detroit. And Houston must win that game.
They must. And Detroit has been a patsy for most of the teams in the league. So Houston has got to get it together in the second half.
Unseld off to the Big E. Elvin Hayes up against Demick. Turnaround jumpers as quick as anybody. And Unseld comes away with it. Boy, that was a tough shot to miss. He's always seemed to be opportunistic. There's a good example of it. Ray Williams driving, he's fouled. And Unseld's picked up his second foul.
Very quickly. Ray Williams doesn't doesn't care who's inside when he's got that ball going to the basket. Wes Unseld, Elvin Hayes, he'll shoot it over the biggest of them. Wes had to come over and trying to block that shot. He got Williams on the arm.
Williams with 2 points. The brother, of course, of Gus Williams, who plays for Seattle, the younger brother by 1 year. Well, a lot of talent in that basketball family.
I'll tell you. Well, tremendous pace by the Knicks here early in the game, and you just wonder how long they can keep that pace up, having played in New York last night and traveling here to Washington to play the game.
They got in the hotel about 2 o'clock this morning. Here's Gravy Richardson, and that's going to be a backcourt foul. Richardson picking it up. He's very upset at himself.
He is. Not a good place to foul a man in the backcourt. Put the pressure on him, but don't reach in. Reaching fouls are just going to kill a team. You send Greavy to the free throw line for 2 points.
13 foul now against the Knicks. There's Richardson out of Montana, playing under control this year, Keith. He was a little bit erratic last year, forcing the issue.
As were both the backcourt players of the Knicks, Richardson and Williams. But as we've been saying, talking to some of the Knick personnel, Red Holtzman in particular, they've really come together in these last 3 weeks and both playing very mature basketball.
Boy, there's been a renaissance in New York. They're going to be a team that looks like they're going to be strong for years, and that's 2 of the big reasons. And the other one's in the middle there by the name of Cartwright. Knight off to Richardson. Backdoor, Williams, and they did that in a highlight film that we're going to show you at halftime against San Antonio.
Isn't that a beautiful play? There has to be perfect timing on that pass and on the leap, and it was right there.
5 points in the ball game now for Williams. Williams trying to reach around. Kevin Greavy having trouble. Out to Jim Clemens. The Big E, 16-12, the Knicks with the lead, and he has everybody on him that time. Cartwright and Richardson double teamed, and he's fouled. You don't think they don't respect his shooting ability.
Well, when Elvin gets that ball down there, he starts setting up. You just know he's taking that ball to the basket. Doesn't have a pass in his mind. Richardson from behind and Cartwright in front, double teaming. Elvin was fouled on the play, and he'll go to the line for...
Friday night at 11:30 Eastern, Bill Walton, Lloyd All-World Free, and the San Diego Clippers sail into Seattle to challenge the NBA champion Supersonics with All-Star center Jack Sikma. You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
That San Diego-Seattle game should be something. As we mentioned, Lloyd Free had 44 points in that win last night against Phoenix, breaking Phoenix's 6-game winning streak. And Seattle, well, they still are having quite a struggle trying to repeat as the NBA World Champions. As you noticed probably in the background, we're having some changes here on the goal itself. What was the story?
One of the bolts came out that holds that standard down on the floor. It became loose and the basket just turned a little bit, and I asked him if the official Bill Oakes, I asked him who noticed it. He said the players did. And then Mark Prey asked me what happened. I explained to him. He said, no wonder we're missing down there. He's a publicist for...
You know what that reminds me of? When Ted Williams was playing baseball, he was up taking a few cuts, and after they threw a few pitches, he said that home plate was not right. And they went out and measured, and sure enough, it was not aligned correctly. And so this is, I guess, some type of analogy there, but Washington not shooting all that well. They're shooting 42%, which isn't bad, but look at New York, Keith. They're shooting 64% from the field.
7 out of 11, and Cartwright, of course, hasn't missed a shot yet. 4 out of 4 from the field.
As an end result, the Knicks with a 4-point lead, 6:45 to go in this first period.
Talking about Joe DiMaggio and what an eye he had. You know, Bill Bradley had the same type of an eye. He used to come out and tell the officials whether the basket was high enough or not, the rim. So he could just tell whether it was just a little bit high or low.
Well, now all those guys are probably saying, now everything will go in from now on because they got that little adjustment made.
That's all they needed.
What happened to those playground baskets they used to shoot?
Yeah, 8 feet off the ground, right? Didn't matter where it was.
That's right. The Big E with 2 free throws coming. He's 2 of 3 from the field thus far for his 4 points. Elvin Hayes makes it 16-13 in favor of the Knicks. Richardson off to Demick. Williams, good movement this time off the ball. As it comes off to Demick, he's drawing the crowd, but he can't get the shot. Go Ballard to the rebound. Greavy. Williams picks him up, brings it back out to Jim Clemens. Here's Unseld. Unseld third in the NBA in rebounding, just having another excellent year. Greavy, and that's the shot that he loves. He starts getting hot. Look out.
That's right. Nothing but the bottom of the net on that one, but on that prior shot he took, he didn't even hit the rim.
Greavy with 6 points. 1-point lead now for the New York Knicks. Williams with Greavy on him. Ray Williams takes him in.
Not only did he take Greavy in, he turned right into Wes Unseld. Both of them shot it over him, and he didn't hit anything but the bottom.
Keith, that's just playing with confidence, isn't it?
Oh, it really is. He's got it going so well. He just wants that ball.
7 points in the ball game now. Williams is 3 of 4 from the field. Here's Ballard. Clemens. That's a tough shot for a left-hander to hit that off the glass.
It is, and going to the right.
Here's Richardson. Off to Toby Knight. This left-hander hits at the other end.
New York is doing a great job getting the ball down the floor very quickly, hitting the open man for that easy shot.
So after cutting it to 1, the Knicks have bumped it back up to a 5-point lead. Elvin Hayes, from way out that time, gets the touch and the roll. And Elvin Hayes now with 7 points.
It never ceases to amaze me how a big guy like that, shooting a long 20-foot jumper, it hits the rim and just dies.
Unseld with a quick hand. Off it comes to Ballard. Toby Knight back. Ballard took it in.
That's just a power move right there. Nothing but power.
Ballard is the guy that wanted to get more playing time, and he's getting it now due to the injury to Dandridge, and he's taking good advantage of it. A foul now. Greavy reaching in. That will be the first on Kevin Greavy. To go back to Ballard, the problem now with him starting, Keith, they don't have anybody to go to on the bench. They don't have that depth that they had before.
That's what we're talking about, the injuries, what they've done to their bench strength. Last year, they had the biggest, strongest, the deepest front line in the NBA.
Williams can't get it. The Big E does. Greavy. And Kevin Greavy now is in a row. And all of a sudden, the Bullets have taken the lead. 21-20 after dropping behind by 5, and Red Holzman. And the Knicks want to talk things over. The Knicks, after that tough 3-point loss last night in the Garden, now trailing by 1, will be back at the 4:29 mark. On that CBS Sports Spectacular, there will also be a visit with Muhammad Ali. That's next Saturday at 4:30. There's a future Bullet. What, guard, forward, center? What do you think?
Might be the singer in the opera, huh?
That's right. All right, the Bullets have scored 6 straight points. They have a 1-point lead, 21-20. Demick posting up on Unseld, and rebound by Elvin Hayes. Hayes just doing everything this year. He is 7th in the NBA in rebounding, 11 a game. He'll try one from outside. Greg Ballard brings it down. You put Hayes and Ballard and Unseld, there's not a lot of room down there.
No, that's for sure. Plus Bill Cartwright in the lane, Demick and Knight. Some big, strong guys battling those boards.
Ballard has hit 4 field goals, 8 points. And interestingly enough, he's hit the last 4. 23-20, 3-point lead for Washington. Ray Williams. Williams taking Greavy in. Look at the quickness of this guy.
Ray Williams, that was a very difficult shot off the board, leaning into Kevin Greavy to get that shot off. Elvin Hayes even tried to block it.
Ray Williams now with 9 points. Ray averaging just under 20 points a game. 10th in the NBA in steals, and there comes one by him. 2 quick field goals here by Ray Williams, and all of a sudden now the Knicks are back on top.
And a great defensive play by Williams. Tremendous anticipation off that Clemens pass.
What did he have? 6 steals in a game against San Antonio this week. Here's Elvin Hayes. Boy, you lean in like that, and it's all over. 9 points for the Big E. 25-24, the Bullets. Richardson, tough shot. Hayes brings it down. No doubt about who had that rebound. Clemens to Ballard. Ballard, good transition basketball. Rebound by Richardson. Look at this guy moving 6'5". Off to Williams, and this young backcourt duo really making some things happen. Look at this effort by Richardson and Williams.
Unbelievable play. Richardson going to the floor to pick up the loose ball, and Wild down there in one motion, dishing it off to Williams, who is cutting to the basket for the layup.
Williams already with 13 points. Some people were saying at the start of the year he didn't know what his role would be with this team, but I think he's found it. And that's to score some points. That's going to be Washington's basketball, as Ballard along with Toby Knight over there. Ray, by the way, has scored the last 6 points for the New York Knicks. So Ballard, along with Ray Williams, continuing to give him a spurt. Here comes Ray Williams back into the playing area.
There's a heck of a spill he took going over the scorer's table down there that you saw in the background.
Boy, a big one there. The winner of that's in first place in the Midwest Division. A half-game lead by Kansas City, and L.A. is leading Phoenix. Phoenix lost a tough one last night in San Diego and had to drive down to L.A. to play that.
They sure did. Same thing that the Knicks are doing here, playing and coming back playing this morning.
Unseld is fouled. I should say they drove up to play that game. Get my geography straight. That foul is on Demick, and that is his second.
Demick trying to get that position inside. Let's see Demick with the arms inside, grabbing Hayes with that left elbow, and Elvin goes to the line.
The penalty in effect now. Elvin Hayes at the line. Great touch for this big guy, shooting 70% from the stripe. And here comes John Williamson, a man who has really given them some firepower coming off the bench since that trade with the New Jersey Nets.
His nickname is Super John, and he's been doing it all for Washington here. He's their designated second and fourth period player, coming in a little early this afternoon.
And he kicks it back outside to Clemens. John Williamson in a trade that they sent Roger Fegley to New Jersey, and Fegley's played well for the Nets. Elvin Hayes against Demick. Unseld with yet another rebound. Out to John Williamson. And look at Ray Williams get up in the air for that rebound.
What a
Richardson.
pass. What a pass. That pair are just beautiful. Their poetry and emotion working together.
Boy, they're anticipating each other. Here's the Big E. 2-point lead for the Knicks. Elvin trying to tie it up, and he had 28 all. 1:41 to go in this first period. A very, very crucial game in the NBA. 2 games separating the 5 teams that are trying to claim the last 3 playoff spots in the Eastern Conference. Williams moving in, and he's been fouled by Jim Clemens.
And the basket counts. Ray Williams is just having an unbelievable quarter out here. Richardson and Williams playing together beautifully.
34 points last night. He already has 15 in this game.
You see him take it to the baseline. Jimmy Clemens shouldn't have given that baseline up, and then he reached. Not supposed to do that. Play the defense with your feet. Slide with the man. Don't reach in with your hand.
Clemens picking up his first personal foul. Now 16 points for Ray Williams. Williams putting on a clinic right now. Here's Clemens off to Unseld. Cartwright. Haven't heard a lot from Bill right now. It's been that backcourt tandem that's really done the job for the Knicks. John Williamson, and that's what he can do so well.
Shoot that ball. That was a set shot from the outside.
You don't see that very often. 1-point lead for the Knicks. 1 minute remaining. First period. Bill Cartwright. Now they get the ball to him. He hung up in the air a little longer that time to get it away from Unseld.
I think Red Holtzman heard you just a second ago saying they haven't gone inside very much lately.
Well, they should, because Cartwright is 5 of 5 from the field. Here's Williamson, and as he goes in, he's going to be called for elbowing. He elbowed Richardson out of there and picked up the foul.
That's John Williamson's game. Let's see if we can pick up that right elbow as he swings to his right into the lane. You see the right elbow underneath Richardson's arm and in the chest.
Back to the live action. Richardson misses. Unseld the rebound, but Williams anticipated the outlet pass. Ray Williams. Richardson. And Toby Knight. Good ball movement that time with 22 seconds to go in this period. 5-point lead again for the Knicks.
Incredible passing by these guys down here. These Knicks are just playing beautiful basketball.
They've won 14 of their last 24, losing that tough one last night. And they know they need this one. Here's Clemens, and all the way in. Rebound cleared in there, and heavy traffic by Toby Knight. And that will end our first period of play. An interesting 12 minutes of action here at the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland. The New York Knicks lead the Washington Bullets by 5, and Dick Motta is concerned. Gary Bender with Keith Erickson ready to go in the second period, and New York leading by 5. One of the big reasons, shooting percentages, 58% for the Knicks from the field. As far as rebounds are concerned, the Knicks leading by 3. There's the total picture. 75%, not too bad from the line either. Cartwright 5 of 5 from the field. Ray Williams. John Williamson on him. Kevin Porter has checked in, and Porter trying to stay with Richardson, bounced off of him and picked up a foul.
This is the backcourt pair that Dick Motta has been using in the second and fourth quarters that have really been picking this team up.
Porter has kind of come out of Dick Motta's doghouse. He started the year not playing much. Now he's playing more, and Richardson's trying to get it inside of Porter. Here comes Kevin Porter. The man who can really mount the assists at times shot instead. I think that surprised New York.
That's right. Kevin Porter was the leading assist man in the league last year with over 13 a game. Limited playing time so far with Dick Motta and the Bullets.
Williams trying one on the baseline. That'll be off of New York. Washington now with a chance to climb back in, trailing by 3. 35-32, and L.A. is really doing a number right now on Phoenix.
Oh. Phoenix has had that tough time playing last night in San Diego.
Williamson, kind of an off-balance shot, but he still hit it dead center, and it's a one-point game. Ray Williams, Josie Merriweather getting ready to check into the New York lineup. Here's Marvin Webster. And Webster, who just checked in, hits from the side. And this guy has really had his problems this year trying to stay healthy. 37-34.
He's had that bad tendonitis problem in that leg.
Had his leg in a cast for 6 weeks. There it's batted out. It will be Washington's basketball. And here come the substitutions in. It'll be Jeff Houston, the rookie out of Texas Tech. And as we mentioned, Merriweather will check in. As going out will be Michael Ray Richardson. And also checking out is going to be Larry Demick. Unseld off to Ballard. 37-34 New York. Williamson has a hot hand.
That set shot is, he's got nothing but unique shots. Set shot from the outside, 2 in a row, and when he drives the ball to the basket, it looks like he's off balance whenever he shoots it. Those are his shots.
Super John, 2 of 3 from the field, and that's what they got him for, Keith, with some firepower. They weren't getting the scoring from those guards that they wanted. Williams, and he's fouled by Williamson as he went up on the shot. John Williamson.
Anything either, so he definitely hit Ray Williams on the arm as Williams went up. Marvin Webster, the pass on the outside to Ray Williams. Williamson jumping over the pick and hitting him right on the elbow. Williams will go to the line, makes his first one. He'll have one more.
I tell you, thus far, Ray Williams 6 of 9 from the field, 3 of 4 from the stripe for 17 points. As coming in now is Hollis Copeland, the rookie from Rutgers, who's been a real surprise this year. He'll replace Toby Knight. Hollis Copeland, who was drafted in the 3rd round by Denver, then played the Western Basketball Association, has made the club. There is Mitch Kupchak, the man we mentioned, had the miseries with the back, and of course not dressed for this game. Neither is Bob Dandridge. Here's Kevin Porter.
Interesting stat we flashed up there very quickly. Ray Williams has 18 points already in the game. His season's average is 20.
Elvin Hayes off the glass, and the Big E with 14 points for the afternoon. 1-point game again. The Knicks with that 1-point lead. Here's a man who plays with a lot of poise for rookie, Jeff Houston. And it goes to Merriweather, who's been having some injury problems, and he gets that one to go.
Ball couldn't decide whether to fall in or to roll out.
Merriweather's had some problems with the knee. He also got hit in the mouth with an elbow, but he's ready to go, as you can see with that shot.
And you know, his teammate Cartwright elbowed him in the mouth.
Here's Williamson coming out to pick him up as Hollis Copeland. Williamson finally missing one. Unseld with a rebound, and Super John will come back with another one.
John had the jump shot from about 15. He took it into traffic and shot it over everybody.
Still a 1-point lead, and now a 3-point lead as Ray Williams ducks inside. He has 20 points.
Unbelievable movement by Ray Williams and confidence when he's shooting that ball.
Kevin Porter, who this year had 20 assists in 1 game, the NBA high for the season, gets it off to Ballard, and they're going to call charging on Kevin Porter.
And he did. Took that ball in the lane. It opened up for him. Took it in. He could have taken that little shot of his from right there. He should have shot the ball, brought it back down again, passed it over to Ballard, and he definitely had an offensive.
And there is the leaderboard after 3 rounds. The Golden Bear may be coming back, Keith.
He said he's going to. Yes, sir. He's had enough of not winning those tournaments.
That's coming next, following the NBA on CBS, the Doral Open. We have a score here of 43-40. The Knicks with a 3-point lead. In this second period, Washington is shooting 83% from the field, 5 of 6, believe it or not. Ray Williams, Kevin Greavy moved in and bounced off of him. So Greavy picking up the personal.
Ray Williams, you see the contact right there. Williams with the left shoulder looked like he created the contact, but Greavy picked up the foul.
Jeff Houston operating with a basketball. A lot of changes now for the Knicks. This is Hollis Copeland. Elvin Hayes there again with a rebound off to Kevin Porter. Porter, the last time down the floor, should have shot the ball, charged instead. And that's where we pick up the action now. Porter
running onto the ball. I think that's what Dick Motta wasn't real happy with.
I think that's exactly right. And he feels he should be more team-oriented. And right now they've run into a little difficulty with the shot clock. And Unseld, of all people, put it up from outside.
They got to run that play more often. Bring it down, let Porter hold it, and then let Wes hold it. Shoot it and make it.
Motta's going to be shaking his head. And Ray Williams blocked that time by Unseld. Off it comes now to Kevin Porter. And Porter, what a move. Merriweather brings it down. Back to the other end. Houston. And the rebound by Ray Williams, who seems to be all over the place, and Unseld with that excellent outlet pass that he's known so well for. John Williamson, neither one of these teams now getting those shots to drop. Williamson out to Houston again. A left-hander from Texas Tech can't get it to go. Merriweather to follow. Little rough and woolly right now, but the Knicks get one to drop, and they lead 45-42.
A lot out of control both ways, but that's not slowing them down at all. There's a track meet going on out here.
Merriweather now with 4 points in the game. Houston respecting Porter's quickness. Nice pass on the baseline. Unseld found Hayes open, and a foul inside.
That was a smart play by Elvin Hayes. He saw where the defensive man was overplaying him. He signaled for Kevin Porter to pass the ball out to Unseld, and Unseld wisely got that ball down into the lane to Elvin, who was pushed.
And Copeland is the man guilty of the foul. That's his first. But again, it shows Unseld's ability to see the whole floor. Look at this one. It's even.
Houston having a tough time with that Detroit team.
John Williamson, Richardson on him, and Richardson picked up the foul. He almost pulled the steal off. So we mentioned Richardson is leading the NBA in steals. Almost 3.5 a game, and now we have the technical.
John Williamson follows up the call on gets his technical foul. I believe what happened was Williamson thought he was shooting the ball. In the act of shooting, the foul was called, and he wasn't going to be given 2 shots. So he told the official what he thought about that. You see him swinging into the lane. Richardson reaches through.
He wasn't shooting, was it?
He sure thought he was.
Here's Houston with the technical free throw. And so now at the other end, Washington will inbounds the basketball. John very upset. He came in this year, New Jersey program, as Dick Montowich just visited with him. He came over and expressed his feelings. He came into the New Jersey camp at about 224 pounds. He's lost some weight since then. Elvin Hayes with Merriweather giving him some shooting room, and John Williamson rejected that beautifully by Marvin Webster. Kevin Porter. Hayes. Boy, he loads it up in a hurry.
He sure does. Marvin Webster, the human eraser, giving Bill Cartwright a well-deserved rest.
Knicks with a 2-point lead. That's real depth when you can go from Cartwright to Marvin Webster in that pivot position. In trouble is Houston. Webster tries to save it and does. Out to Copeland, to Merriweather, and Merriweather traveled to the basketball.
Just not being able to get the handle on the ball inside. Knicks that time overpassing it. Couldn't get a good shot.
And so time is called at the 6:40 mark. Dick Motta's team down by 2 points, 46-44. 3 games next Sunday, the next to last weekend of the regular season of play. As 2 weeks from today, the regular season comes to a close. Keith and I will be in Atlanta for that San Antonio game. That place should be rocking in the Omni. Kevin Porter has the Knicks with a 2-point lead, 46-44 to Williamson. Williamson trying to tie it up, but Unseld will.
Really difficult for the Knicks keeping these big guys off the boards. When Williamson shoots it from the outside, Elvin Hayes and Wes Unseld just rolling inside. Got to be body contact and keep them off those boards.
Boy, Wes is doing a lot of things today, isn't he? Passing well, rebounding well, and at that instant scoring. We have a foul.
And you can see Elvin Hayes down there complaining to the official underneath. That was the second time that had happened.
It's Merriweather.
Like Merriweather was letting Elvin Hayes have it with that right arm. It's like Elvin fell back that time without any contact.
I think he may have acted a little bit, but it is a foul on Merriweather. 46 all our score, 6 minutes remaining until halftime. Elvin Hayes lets everybody go up. That ball was partially deflected, follows his own shot, and he's fouled. Good second effort by Elvin Hayes, 34-year-old veteran.
Great job by Hayes, but a breakdown by the Knicks going to the boards. As I was just saying, they've got to keep those guys off the boards. Watch him get that shot off. It was partially blocked, but look at none of the Knicks going for that offensive rebound. Nobody left the floor but Elvin Hayes trying to get it.
And that was Copeland with the foul. The Big E now with 16 points. He's 2 of 4 from the stripe, 7 of 12 from the field. There's Larry Demick, who checked back into the lineup as Merriweather is checked out. And there's the seasonal average on Hayes. And what a year this man is having. He also has 5 rebounds today. Washington now by 2. Richardson, who came back in after that last time out, as did this man, Bill Cartwright, against Unseld. Hayes is there again, and Hayes with his 6th rebound of the day. He does it with kind of a final note to it. You just clear out.
He's got a flair.
Here is Kevin Porter moving in, and Jeff Houston reaching in on him.
2-3 with a hand check.
So Houston committing the personal foul, and since Porter's come in, he has generated a little offense, keeping that ball moving.
That's what he does best. Passes that ball.
Unseld into Kevin Porter. Porter only about 5'11". Taking Houston in, gets it off to Elvin Hayes. Double team on him. Look at Houston hustle on defense for the Knicks. Williamson. And John Williamson finds a way to get it in.
Always off balance when he's shooting that ball, but that's the way he likes to shoot it.
John Williamson in double figures with 10 points. 50-46, the biggest lead of the game for Washington. Richardson and Michael Ray answers at the other end. Ray Williams getting ready to check back in for the Knicks. Williamson and Porter will bring it down. Unseld, Hayes, and Greavy. Interesting, really, three guards. They moved Greavy to the forward spot. Hey, look at that play by Porter.
Well, when that middle opens up just a little bit, that's all Kevin Porter needs.
Copeland saves it somehow to Houston, but he walked with the ball.
Good defensive pressure by the Bullets that time. Watch Kevin Porter. Gets a little bit off of that pick by Unseld. Takes it inside. Hesitation move and a nice drop shot right over the big man.
But I think it's very interesting. There for a while they had Greavy at a forward spot. They've now given that idea up as Greavy's moved back out to guard, and Greg Ballard has checked in at forward for Washington. As physical as New York is, you can't, I would think, go with a small forward very long. Here's Hayes.
Talk about how physical New York is. How about that move by Hayes? Part of that front line that's one of the most physical in the game. The Washington Bullets with Ballard, Unseld, and Hayes.
We're seeing some great individual performances. He already has 20 points.
Look at that quick move by Hayes. Going to the baseline. You're not supposed to give it up, and that made that play possible.
And so
there are 22 reasons to keep your eye on the NBA. Make that 23 reasons. The 23rd is you.
The preceding announcement was furnished as a public service by the National Basketball Association. Some New York fans here in the Capitol Center as the Knicks. And there is Bobby Dandridge. Boy, he is really dressed up, isn't he?
He's ready for a picture for Esquire magazine.
54-48. The Knicks have gone cold. They've hit 2 of their last 8 shots from the field after earlier shooting around 63%. Richardson gets it off to Bill Cartwright. Cartwright, look at the attention he's getting, would you? He backs into Elvin Hayes. He thought he could get the foul. There is a foul. Elvin Hayes really upset. He thought Cartwright had elbowed him out of there.
It's tough to tell sometimes because Elvin does a little acting job every now and then. There was good pressure on Cartwright. Let's see if we can pick it up. Let's see Cartwright turn around. He bumped him just a little bit. I don't know if it warranted all of that move, but there was a little bit of a bump.
Cartwright 5 of 6 from the field. He has 4 rebounds in this game. 11 points. Well, the crowd didn't like that last development at all, and they are letting Cartwright know about it. But this man, as you look at Elvin Hayes, Bill Cartwright, has played with such poise for a rookie. There's John Williamson, who comes back in. Williamson having a big first half with 10 points thus far. And Cartwright hits both of them dead center, and it's 54-50, a 4-point lead for Washington. Kevin Porter with Ray Williams, who's back in. And so as you look at this lineup, it's the starting 5 that opened the game for the Knicks that are back in now. Here's Greg Ballard. And Richardson going for the rebound, and a pushing foul inside. It's against the Knicks, and Richardson's upset about it.
You know, facially, he didn't look that upset. He just took the ball and bounced it. Whenever you try to draw attention to a bad call by the official and you embarrass them out there, you're going to get a technical foul like he did right there.
Demick picked up the personal, his 3rd, and Richardson then will have the T tacked on top of it. Well, that's 2 technicals, one against this guy that's shooting the free throw now. On turn of events, huh?
That's right. There's a lot of contact inside. Watch Elvin Hayes and Larry Demick going at it inside. Elbows up. Elvin flying out of there again. And that was the flailing the official saw and made the call on Demick.
You got to remember, Hayes weighs 235 pounds, stands 6'9". I don't think you push him around as easy as it looks sometimes, huh?
Not as easy as he makes it look like. He's getting thrown around in there.
Well, Elvin Hayes and John Williamson now have bumped it back up to a 6-point lead, and maybe 7 here. The technical plus the personal. 7-point lead now for Washington.
And 22 points for the Big E.
Ray Williams. Williams can't get it to go. Toby Knight, but Hayes comes away off to Kevin Porter. Richardson down there, but Porter beat him. He had to wait on that pass, and it didn't look like he'd make it in time.
It was a great outlet pass by Elvin. That's the only way he could get it down there, was to lob it up like that. Couldn't turn around and fire that bullet. Kevin Porter made it pay off.
Here's Richardson to the other end, and the Knicks now, after being red hot early, can't get the ball to drop for him. Kevin Porter, John Williamson, Cartwright tried to block it and could not. And all of a sudden now, it's 61-50, 13 points for Super John Williamson.
Great shots by Williamson and a terrific pass by Kevin Porter, hitting him when he was open down low.
I tell you, Washington has run the ball effectively. Ray Williams, that's that alley-oop, and they don't get it, and everything now not working for New York. Ray Williams has missed his last 4 shots for the New York Knicks. Now Porter will back it out. 2:54 to go before halftime. At halftime, we'll have highlights of the NBA. Williamson, 15 points now.
Just a great play the Bullets have right there. Kevin Porter setting it up. Elvin, Wes Unseld setting that huge pick for John Williamson, coming off it as he's swinging to the left, and a good pass by Porter set that jumper up.
And after that play was over, Porter hand slapping with his teammates, showing a lot of enthusiasm as this Washington team with a 13-point lead, 63-50 with 2:44. And enthusiasm. This is a situation that the Knicks have to be concerned about. They started out well, and now can they come back into this? And Red Holzman is talking about that very fact right now.
It is. You know, this often happens, Gary, when a team starts off as well as the Knicks did in that first quarter. They were just super, and then they had to be substituted. Get a rest for those guys, and when you come back in, they just don't have that same hot feeling that they had at the beginning of the game.
Well, Keith, tonight on CBS, we have 60 Minutes. That's CBS News Weekly Magazine. Then at Archie Bunker's place, Archie and Murray tangle over a lady of all things. And then on One Day at a Time, Ann gets a date with Schneider to the Laughing Academy. And on Alice, Vera receives a lesson from Belle on how to be a sex goddess. And the American Film Institute salutes Jimmy Stewart with Princess Grace, Dustin Hoffman, Walter Matthau, Henry Fonda, and more. Boy, what a lineup right here tonight on CBS. Well, it's interesting how enthusiasm can really turn things around. It looked like Washington was a little flat early. Now they have come back. Red Holzman in his 16th year. He's been awarded a contract through next year. And I talked to him before the game, and I said, what do you think? Who's going to get those final 3 playoff spots? And he said, I hate to use the cliche, but I think it's going to go down to the last game of the year. And they do not play on that final weekend. Their season comes to a close Thursday, March 27th.
It's tough to have to sit back and wait for the other teams to win or lose, determine what you're going to do into the playoffs.
Earl Monroe is checked into the game. Joe Merriweather out to Toby Knight. Knight tries to force a shot. Hayes had a hand on it. It will be New York's ball, and Hayes is playing with enthusiasm. Look at this stat. Washington, their bench has scored 21 points. New York only 7.
And John Williamson has 15 of those 21 off the bench.
Here's Earl Monroe. He can still play, and you can see exactly what we mean.
Just that fact that you were just talking about, that bench scoring. Red Holzman going into his bag, bringing the Pearl off the bench to try and pick the Knicks up once again.
Houston playing defense against Porter. Here's John Williamson. He's just red hot.
Strange looking jump shot off of the wrong foot, off of the right foot, moving to his left, and he dropped it. 8 out of 12.
Isn't that a remarkable 17 points for John Williamson? Merriweather out to Monroe. Monroe trying to make it 2 in a row. Cartwright, Unseld goes up. Unseld touched and last the Knicks basketball.
Good defense by Williamson that time. His defense has been questioned, but he made Earl the Pearl hurry that shot. Not a good shot by the Pearl.
65-52. A minute 45 to go till halftime. Toby Knight with a left-hander. Boy, they just can't get him to go. Cartwright, though, horses it in. And that basket will count, and he's been fouled.
When you go inside and get an offensive rebound, you know you've been in there against the Bullets. Putting that ball back up as Dave Corzine comes into the game to give Wes Unseld a rest. Greg Ballard and Elvin Hayes were on him that time, and Cartwright did a nice job taking it back to the basket.
And the crowd applauding the exit of Unseld. What a job he has done in this first half. He's done just a little bit of everything for this Bullet team.
He sure has. Early in the game, the Knicks were out rebounding Washington, but Washington has come back very strong, and they're ahead 22-17 in the rebound battle right now.
And Wes has 8 of those rebounds. Cartwright with the 3-point play. It's a 10-point lead now for Washington. This has been a game of spurts. Porter now, they trap him in the backcourt. Off to Ballard. John Williamson, and I thought he's going to shoot it again. Here's Elvin Hayes. He faked Monroe and took it in.
Great drive by the Big E. With that fake, got the one defensive man by it. A lot of question about Elvin just wanting to shoot it from the outside. You can see right there he likes to take it to the basket also.
He has 24 points. His high for the year is 42. Nice shot by Merriweather.
Merriweather does most of his work inside, but he can shoot it from out there.
Elvin Hayes may be headed for quite a day before this is all over. Merriweather, by the way, is 3 of 3 from the field. Here's Porter. Houston on him. 56 seconds remaining in this first half. Porter, look at the gyrations he goes through. Ballard out to Dave Corzine, the second-year man from DePaul. 3 seconds on the shot clock, and he put it up, and he did not want to. Out to Monroe. And now a chance to cut it inside 10 points. The Knicks. Monroe gets it out to Toby Knight, and it's an 8-point game all of a sudden, and they're climbing back in. You see the time remaining as we approach 30 seconds.
Good job of Earl passing that ball to Knight. Good crisp passes get you the open shot.
I think Monroe's come in here, maybe stabilize this ball club a little bit. Here's Kevin Porter going into all kinds of difficulty. Houston commits a foul, anticipating that pass.
He did a nice job getting back in after Porter had beaten him, picking up the big man Corzine, but he fouled him in the process.
You get the feeling when Porter goes in the air, he changes his mind 5 times where he's going to go with the ball.
At least. Until the last split second, he has no idea where he's going.
Here's Corzine, their #1 draft pick in '78, 6'11" out of DePaul. He's averaging 3 points a game. But he's going to have to play more and more, especially if Mitch Kupchak cannot return in time for the playoffs. In fact, Washington gets in him.
Updating Kupchak's situation, he has the bad back that he had surgery on earlier this year. He has no pain right now. He's just so badly out of shape that they just don't think he can come back and play in the playoffs.
And boy, what an important factor he is. And the steal. Here comes Porter. Look at that move.
Some dipsy-doodle move, huh? Kevin Porter, that's what he likes to do.
And our time expires here in the first half as Kevin Porter showing his excitement. He's glad to be out there. He has 8 points in this first half, hitting 4 of 5. Dick Motta, whose team trailed by 6 points in this first half of play, now have a 71-59 halftime lead as this Washington team really turned it around in the second period.
Kevin Porter, watch him do his work. Up and down with the goose step. Nice little shot, giving them the lead.
So we're ready to go. 71-59 in the second half of play. Richardson off to Toby Knight. And the Knicks start out in the fashion I'm sure that Red Holzman wanted them to. Checking the lineups, it'll be Williams, Richardson at the guards, Toby Knight, Larry Dimmick, and Bill Cartwright at center. Greavy has the ball batted away. He has Clemens in the backcourt with him. Off it comes to Unseld. Ballard and Hayes are at the forwards, and Clemens on a give and go for Unseld.
And that's a great play. You really force the defense's hand that way with Elvin Hayes coming off of that screen and Jimmy Clemens going down to the basket.
That's the first 2 points of the afternoon for Jim Clemens, and a foul goes on Unseld, bouncing off of Cartwright.
That last play down here, you see Clemens cutting to the basket. The defense had to be alert for Elvin Hayes coming off at the top. When they hesitate, Clemens is open going down low.
That's the third foul on Wes Unseld. And here is Toby Knight making it 2 in a row now in this third quarter of play.
Well, that's the way they started out the game. Remember, Bill Cartwright hit his first 3 shots. They were really hot and cooled off drastically in that second quarter.
And all of a sudden, it's a 10-point game. Clemens off to Elvin Hayes. Hayes with 24 points. Also had 9 rebounds. This guy had 8 rebounds. Unseld. Kevin Greavy, dead center.
Looks like he's starting to feel him. That shot coming back to him again. He's been on vacation.
75-63, Ray Williams. Greavy to pick him up. A little pushing and shoving going in there between Cartwright and Unseld. So they're going to drop off for Williams. Unseld or check that Hayes with his 10th rebound of the afternoon. Kevin Greavy, good transition basketball.
Oh, great pass by Jimmy Clemens. A heads-up play looking down court. Greavy was breaking down in a beautiful pass right on his fingertips, and he laid it in.
Greavy now with 12 points. Greavy for the year is averaging just about that, just under 13 a game. He's having a fine afternoon. So those 2 shots early have been negated by a quick turnaround and 4 points by Washington. Richardson having a little difficulty. 5 seconds on the shot clock. 3 seconds. He forced it up. But look at this rebound by Larry Dimmick. Good second effort, but he can't get it to go. Hayes off to Clemens. Jim Clemens, the Big E, and the Big E's there.
Gets his hands on the ball. What he's going to do with it? 26 points.
What an afternoon for the man who 12 consecutive years has been in the All-Star game. I think if he plays 20 years, he'll be in a 20 straight. Cartwright. Boy, what touch for a big 7'1" rookie.
He's had to show that he's got some stamina, too. He's starting to get a little bit tired. He's had to play so much with Marvin Webster not being able to come in and spell him until just the last 5 games.
Not to mention his first time around in the NBA. 82 games, a lot of games, as opposed to what you do in college.
That's right. It's his equivalent to his 3rd college year in 1 season.
Ballard is tied up. As he got into difficulty, they'll jump it up. And we're going to have a timeout at the 9:16 mark of this 3rd period. Gary Bender with Keith Erickson. We have a jump ball. Greg Ballard will be going up against Richardson at the 9:16 mark of this 3rd period. Washington is really shooting the basketball in this 3rd period.
Haven't missed a shot yet since they've come out. Dick Mott is a wise coach, isn't he?
Looks like a genius. Here's Greg Ballard. Tough shot against Toby Knight. Clemens tried to come away with it, but instead Ray Williams has it. Williams, nice pass. He threaded the needle that time to Toby Knight.
That had to be right on the money. If it was any longer, would have hit the backboard any shorter, and Ballard had a hand on it.
12 points now for Toby Knight. 79-67. They're trying to climb back within 10. It's going to be an uphill battle for the Knicks. Elvin Hayes broken up. Demick off to Williams. That was Toby Knight who had a hand on it. Richardson does not see the pass. Clemens has it batted away by Richardson. That's the reason he leads the NBA in steals. Demick. Richardson with a quick hand.
Oh, boy, he's got great anticipation and tremendous quickness in those hands, and a super play in the backcourt taking that ball away from Clemens.
And all of a sudden, it's a 10-point game again. Clemens picked up by Ray Williams. See Demick and Hayes really pushing in there. Ballard got away for a moment. Gets it off to Grevey. Difficult shot. Hayes giving chase. Look at the big guy hustle. But instead, here comes Richardson. Richardson in trouble, gets it off to Williams. Williams going to go in, blocked by Unseld. Boy, he just tempted the old veteran in there, didn't he?
He sure did. He made the wrong choice. He should have shot that ball when he had it wide open at about 14 feet. He had it. We just saw it right there. Instead, he went inside and said, I can out-jump Wes Unseld.
Ray Williams
gets his mind on that.
Ray Williams into Cartwright, and that is dead center. Boy, he's at 7-1, gets that ball up so high. He's 8 of 9 from the field, and all of a sudden, they are now back within 8 points. Cartwright, you get the ball to him, it's like money in the bank when he shoots the ball. Ballard partially blocked that time by Knight, and now the Knicks are making a move. They have a chance to cut it to 6. Michael Ray Richardson going to try to do that very thing, and does.
What a beautiful move. The hesitation and then taking it down the lane. He just split the seam, and they had to move apart or else foul him in possible 3-point play.
This is included on that CBS Sports Spectacular. Next Saturday, there'll be a visit with Muhammad Ali about his coming out of retirement. The Knicks, well, Red Holzman's doing things right. They scored 10 straight points.
Oh, he's become an awfully smart coach all of a sudden, hasn't he?
And it's a 79-73 game. Clemens has it batted away. You can see again Richardson reaching in. Boy, you've got to protect the basketball from him. Unseld off to Ballard. It's tough under there, and Richardson comes out of there. Richardson off to Williams, and all of a sudden, it's 79 to 73, 75, I should say, a 4-point game.
How about Richardson going inside with Unseld and Ballard on those boards, bringing it down, and then the great pass to the other end.
12 straight unanswered points by the Knicks, as that time Ballard is fouled. Richardson, as much as anyone, as you look at Ray Williams, has had a lot to do with his turnaround. His quick hands, turning the ball over. Grevey now checks out of the lineup.
And John Williamson comes in.
And what a first half he had. 17 points, now has 19.
And Dick Mott is telling him once again, when I ask him, how do you do it? He just tells Williamson, shoot the ball.
It's back to a 6-point lead now for Washington. Richardson trying to get it into Cartwright, and you can see he's having a tough time with Unseld, who fronts him as much as possible. Here's Richardson taking Clemens in. Nice pass that time. Beautiful pass off to Demick.
Isn't that tremendous? Clemens and Hayes double-teamed him, and right at the last second was able to get that pass down. Great vision.
Back to a 4-point lead. This is going to be quite a struggle after that big lead at halftime of 71-59. The Knicks are back in it. Williamson off to Clemens. It's a long ways out, but makes no difference.
Good job by Williamson getting the ball over to Clemens as Williamson was double-teamed.
Clemens now with 4 points. Ray Williams ducks in and gets 2.
Well, that side just opened up, and there was no help from the big man. When you've got these big guys like the Knicks have going to those boards, Hayes and Unseld have got to keep contact, keep them off the board, and it's tough to get back and help out when that guy drives the lane.
Ray Williams, 22 points. The thing about Richardson and Williams, they're always moving that ball inside. Great positive moves, great confidence that they play with. One is a second-year man, the other's a third-year man, to show you what a career they're going to have. And here comes Richardson with yet another steal. And believe it or not, it's a 2-point game now all of a sudden.
The Bullets are going to have to protect that ball, move that ball around and get the good shots. They can't lose the ball like they've been doing. Richardson with those great hands inside.
The Big E trying to do something about it. And look at the effort by Richardson. He saves it off of Williamson. It'll be New York's basketball. What a play. He's in the stands there.
He's right on his assistant coach, Hal Fisher's lap, and knocked him to the floor. Made a tremendous play. Throwing that ball back off of John Williamson and out of bounds, and the Knicks will get it in the backcourt.
But Richardson again seems to be the catalyst. There they are settling back down on the bench. And Richardson's the catalyst. There's the high scorers in this game. Hayes, who had 24 at half. Williams doing a very good job, having 20 at halftime. Toby Knight, and it's all tied up.
Isn't that incredible how fortunes change? And Washington came out and hit their first 4 shots here in the third period.
And Toby Knight is 7 of 9 for the game. He's hit his last 5 in a row, and that's one of the big reasons the Knicks have pulled even. That was intended for Williamson, and the Knicks now with a chance to take the lead, and Dick Mott is probably wondering what happened to that second period club that he
That's
saw.
right, and that last play was created by the defense of Richardson once again, getting over that big pick by Unseld.
4 turnovers against the Bullets in this third period. 83 all. Knight with a hot hand out to Williams. 8 seconds on the shot clock, takes it in, and he is fouled.
Jimmy Clemens really pushing Williams that time as he got near the basket. Clemens wanted to make sure that he wasn't going to get that easy one inside. Clemens behind the pick, picking up Williamson right there with his right arm, shoving him out of bounds.
That was his second foul. We come back, and Richardson darting to the baseline, got the shot, and he has 2 more points, and the Knicks have the lead.
Unbelievable. That's all you can say. Richardson and Williams, Toby Knight doing a sensational job here in the third quarter.
What a future this Knicks team has. John Williamson drives, rejected that time by Demick. Here comes Williams, 3-on-1. Williams, beautiful pass to Cartwright.
Oh, that was absolutely perfect on the fast break. Set up the defensive man, Jim Clemens. Couldn't have been any better. Drew him over and dished the ball off to Cartwright at the exact right time.
Boy, what a reversal of form as all of a sudden the Knicks are taking this game over.
And we see it right there. Drew Jimmy Clemens, who thought he was going to keep it right to the last second. Cartwright went in, and they've got a 4-point lead.
After trailing by 12 at halftime, the Knicks have come back to take the lead by 4. And here is the scoring in that third quarter to show you the reversal in this game.
28-12, but remember, 8 of those 12 points by Washington were their first 4 shots.
And Kevin Porter now has checked in. He was the man that kind of ignited him in that second period, and he's fouled as he ducks inside. Look at this shooting percentage. New York is shooting 78% from the field, 14 of 18. Knight is 4 of 4. Cartwright is 3 of 3.
Well, you talk about starting just like they did in that first quarter once again.
John Williamson backing in on Demick, and blocked that time by Demick. He came across at 6'9", pass to Richardson. Kevin Porter back quickly. That's something they weren't doing, was getting back defensively, and Porter did the job that time.
He did good transition, shutting that fast break down.
And now Richardson is fouled as he goes across the lane area.
Wes Unseld had to jump out and help as Cartwright came over and set a pick on Porter. That's his 4th, Wes Unseld's 4th personal foul. Richardson with that good first step coming across the lane. Wes with that contact in there. Richardson will have a chance for 2.
88-83. Richardson 3 of 4 from the field. There's Wes. He doesn't foul out of very many games, though.
No, he sure doesn't. He's a very smart player.
But with 4 personals now. Richardson with 12 points. His backcourt mate, Williams, with 24. So they've gotten some real scoring power out of that backcourt. Porter into Hayes. Elvin Hayes didn't have any trajectory on that ball. A flat shot. Off it comes to Williams. Ray Williams. Porter trying to stop him. Hayes broken up. Good play by Larry Demick. Demick has had the quick hands in this particular third quarter. Here's Richardson. Gives it off now to Toby Knight. And and we're going to have a loose ball foul. Larry Demick pushing off on that rebound effort.
That's a great effort by Demick going after the offensive rebound, and the coach sure can't fault a player for going after it like that and with that effort. Knight with that shot from the outside, his first miss in the third quarter. Demick going up on Wes Unsel's back.
That is 4 on Larry Demick. So Demick with 4 and Unseld with 4. 2:44 to go, third period. Porter in all kinds of trouble. 3 men around him. Richardson will put it away.
Boy, you bet. And great. You don't see a triple team very often and a team come away with the ball. They sure did it there.
And here is a final. Atlanta beating Indiana. That's a tough loss for the Pacers. Atlanta's already won that division. And Houston, they had to win that, and they did.
They sure did, squeaking it out in Detroit.
Unseld out to John Williamson, and he drives over people. He traveled with the ball. Interesting thing was the official couldn't get his whistle tooted in time to whistle that traveling call down.
Isn't that a strange play? Williamson going up into the air that time. Watch him come into the lane. The contact is made. Williamson goes up, Richardson goes down, and Williamson held on to the ball and came down expecting to hear a whistle, and there was none. He got called for the traveling.
Well, the turnovers, this has got to concern Dick Motta. They have 7 turnovers in this third period. New York with 2. That's 7 of 12 for the game. So they've really had a reversal here as far as mechanical problem. Tony Knight and Toby Knight hits again. He has the hot hand. Is he ever? He has 16 points. 10-point lead now for the Knicks. I can't believe how this game has turned around.
Incredible.
Kevin Porter, Ray Williams on him. Porter trying to make things happen. Hayes follows, and there's what Porter can do. Just penetrate and make something develop.
That's right. He made the big man come over and pick him up. And when he did that, Elvin Hayes was open for the offensive rebound.
There's Williamson, and he almost picked up a foul. It'll be New York's ball. He went over the top of Richardson. Into Cartwright. Good guy to have stand around when he got some pressure on. Just dump it off to him.
That's right, the big man.
Richardson taking Williamson, and he just went right around him.
Williamson, his defense has been questionable. You can't give up the baseline like that. You've got to move over and force him back to the middle where the big men can help as the drive comes.
16 points for Richardson. Elvin Hayes is called for pushing off, and he did not like that call at all.
It was a good call. Elvin does that quite a bit inside. He's awfully physical trying to get that position, using those arms to his advantage.
Michael Ray Richardson is 5 of 6 here in the third period of play. He has the basketball now. He has 16 points. Williams with 24, and I can't say enough about this young backcourt of New York. There's Kevin Porter with a big steal. There's Williams trying to steal it back. Gets it to Williamson. Rebound by Josie Merriweather, but Porter that time really hustling on the play. Ray Williams back at the other end. Hayes tries to block it to no avail. Ray Williams with 26 points. This is some show, isn't it?
A demonstration by this Knick backcourt pair. Ray Williams and Michael Ray Richardson.
And then you add Cartwright to that and the hot hand of Toby Knight, and you can see why they've turned this game around. Williamson saves it. Off to Unseld. Back to Super John. Kevin Porter's open. Gets it off to Hayes. Elvin Hayes going to try to find a better spot.
It's interesting that the better spot for Elvin is often a step or two farther out from the basket.
You see the time remaining in this third period. That's 30 points in the game for the Big E. He had 24 after the first half. Toby Knight into Merriweather. Unseld tries to block. Ballard comes away. A loose ball foul, and it's going to go on Greg Ballard.
That's a good call. The fans are not going to like that here in Washington, but Cartwright did have the position inside. Let's see if we can pick it up again. You see Cartwright at the bottom of your screen moving to the basket as the shot goes up. Ballard comes in front of him, jumps right into him, and knocks him out of the play.
That's his second personal foul. Richardson will inbounds to Ray Williams. 8 seconds remaining now. As you see the clock in the upper portion of your screen, Williams fakes John Williamson out. He follows, and he would have gotten that shot had it dropped for him. And what a third period of play for the New York Knicks. They trail by 12 at halftime, and now after 3 quarters they have a 10-point lead. Well, when you trail by 12 and take a 10-point lead after 12 minutes of play, there's reasons. But one of those reasons, the Knicks shot 72% from the field in the third period.
Boy, and they outscored the Bullets 38-16.
A 10-point game, 12 minutes remaining. Elvin Hayes forced the shot, and he got it. That's a fine shot, but it went through.
He has a tremendous knack of knocking those shots down when he does force them.
32 22 points for the Big E. Kevin Porter opens his fourth period after coming in late in the third period of play. Michael Ray Richardson into his backcourt mate, Ray Williams, and he hit that shot, and he's fouled by John Williamson. Great body control on that shot.
Phenomenal. These two guys just working so beautifully. We're becoming very redundant in saying that, but it's just been tremendous. Ray Williams posting up on John Williamson down low. Williamson a little bigger and stronger. Doesn't matter.
Three-point play for Ray Williams. 99-89, 29 points for Ray Williams. His high for the year is 39. He might get that.
The way he's going, he sure might.
Kevin Porter takes it in, and he has a chance for a three-point play.
That's a big play for Washington. They need somebody like Porter to come in and pick this team up right now. Get a little movement out there, like they had in that second quarter.
That foul going against Toby Knight, his second. Here's Kevin Porter. A man they thought was going to turn him around. He didn't do things the way they wanted to, and now he's back in and playing a significant role for this Washington team.
Another reason New York did so well in that third quarter. At halftime, they were down by 5 rebounds.
Kevin Porter going for the steal. Richardson fouled him.
Another big play by Kevin Porter. I started to say rebounding has been very important for New York in the third quarter. They're now ahead in the game, rebounding-wise.
Look at this, coming up following the NBA on CBS. Jack Nicklaus still has the lead. Look at that, 7 under. Boy, it's good to see him back. John Williamson, high-arching shot. He had to change it, and he got it to go for him. 194, 21 points for Williamson, and we have quite a show developing here in the Capitol Center. Richardson decks Porter. Porter trying to get the foul. Didn't get it, though, and Ray Williams gets 2 points instead.
That was an interesting play right in front of us. Hard to tell whether Porter was faking that or not because there was a little contact.
Ray Williams with 31 points. Hayes has 32. Kevin Porter is obviously giving this Washington team a real lift right now. 10 seconds on the shot clock. 7 seconds on the shot clock. 5 seconds on it. Gonna have to hurry. 3 seconds. Williamson. Cartwright with a rebound.
Bullets a little bit out of control that time down the floor. That's where Kevin Porter's going to have to take control out there.
And maybe handle the ball too long there at the start.
He did, that's right.
Richardson with Porter on him. Off to Cartwright. Unso batted it off. Cartwright had hit him last. It'll be Washington's basketball. New York wants a timeout. And so with 10:07 remaining in this game, and what a game it has been, the Knicks, after losing a three-pointer last night in the Garden, then comes house calls and Lou Grant. That's all on CBS tomorrow night.
Ray Williams in the last 7 games has averaged 27 points a game, Gary. In this game so far, with 10 minutes remaining, he has 31.
31 points. Hayes, the leading scorer in the game, he has 32. 102-94, just inside 10 minutes, and Alvin Hayes now has 34 points.
Well, you know Elvin's got to be strong. When he turns around in traffic like that, he's able to get that shot off under control.
Marvin Webster is now checked in for the Knicks, giving Bill Cartwright a breather. Here's Toby Knight, who's been red hot, and he continues to sizzle.
That's really important to get guys that continue to shoot well when Big Cartwright is out of the game.
18 points for Toby Knight. Toby Knight has been a real pleasant surprise. Excellent shooter, as evidenced by today. Kevin Porter again making things happen, gets it off to E, and that gets 2 more points, and the Bullets are still in it, and Dick Mata and Bernie Bickerstaff hoping somehow that they can pull this one out. The E now has hit 5 in a row from the field. 104-98. Toby Knight going to try it again. He got Ballard up. He fouled him. The basket will count. A chance for a three-point play.
Boy, he's just been a mark of consistency all year long for the Knicks. Toby Knight getting Greg Ballard up into the air and still able to make that shot. Watch the beautiful fake as he comes down to the baseline. After that reverse pivot, Ballard comes down on him, and tremendous concentration, follow through, knocking that shot through.
Paul Evans, our statistician, indicates that Toby Knight has hit 10 of 13 from the field, including his last 3. I tell you what, he's going to have to put that hand in an icebox after this game's over just to cool off. 107-98. Porter again dishing off the ball. Ballard shot blocked. Richardson away with it, but again Porter is penetrating.
He's doing a good job setting his teammates up.
Richardson, John Williamson trying to stay with him, and he's had a chore trying to do that today. 8:43 remaining in the game, and a foul away from the ball. That's Marvin Webster. And here is a fourth quarter score. Phoenix has never been in that ball game.
No, they haven't. Mighty tough to play those 2 games in a row.
They lost last night in San Diego, and Lloyd Free had 44 points, breaking the Suns' 6-game winning streak. They've already clinched a playoff. Here's Porter taking it in, and Kevin Porter doing an excellent job. He has 13 points, and you wonder why he hasn't been playing more.
Well, the way he's playing this game is the way Dick Motta expected him to play all year long when he picked him up.
Knicks with a 7-point lead, making a 9-point lead as Houston is able to hit. New York now in this game is 5 of 5 from the field in the 4th quarter. They just continue to get better as far as shooting is concerned. And there's your time remaining, 8 minutes.
They were, what, 72% in the 3rd quarter? And they're better than that here in the 4th.
Demick going for the steal on Hayes, and Demick now has 5 personal fouls.
We've got to give the Knicks defense credit. They've just done a super job here in the 2nd half.
And Demick is going to check out with that foul difficulty. Coming back in is Bill Cartwright, along with Josie Merriweather, as Webster goes out. So Webster gave him a couple of 3 minutes to catch his breath on the bench. Porter handling the ball. Miraculous play. Can't get it to go, though. That was some effort.
That's a heartbreaker. That ball looked like below the rim and then fell out.
Jeff Houston passes that one up because the Big E was in his vicinity. Toby Knight, well, he finally missed one. He is
Get him out
human.
of the game. He's cold.
10 of 14 in the game now. Kevin Porter, 7:28 remaining. John Williamson, boy, he didn't take long to put that one up. Toby Knight, and he is fouled.
That's not a good play by John Williamson. Missed the shot, and he came in. A good rebound by Toby Knight. Williamson starting to put the pressure on in the backcourt, but he reached in and slapped Knight in the backcourt, and that's 2 free throws.
And Williamson's going to check out. He might be a little bit tired as Kevin Greavy replaces him. At the line now, Toby Knight. Super John not hitting very well either. He's hit 1 of his last 7 shots. And that last one, he shot it up so quickly. This is Ray Williams coming back in as Jeff Houston will leave. And Toby Knight, what a job he is doing today. 22 points. Knight at 6'9", a 3rd-year man out of Notre Dame. 111 to 100, 11-point lead again. There's your high scores. Hayes with the better of it, but what a job Ray Williams is doing. Here's Porter still trying to get somebody open to Hayes, and we have a foul. Graham Holtzman did not like that at all. Hollis Copeland now will check in for the Knicks as Toby Knight will catch a breather.
It's really tough to watch that contact inside. When Elvin is trying to post up, he uses both of his arms. See Copeland, who just checked in on Ballard. But Elvin, when he gets that position inside, there's always contact in there.
Toby Knight now with 2 fouls. Look at Porter hustle. He's just all over the place. Gives it off to Kevin Greavy. He's wide open, and you can't leave him open.
No, that's right. He's starting to get his touch back. Motta doing a good job getting John Williamson out, who was not shooting well. Greavy coming in, hits that shot.
14 points for Greavy. Greavy 6 of 10 for the afternoon in the shooting department. 6:43 left. Into Cartwright. Cartwright backing into Unseld. Greavy with the rebound. Off to Porter. Porter hustling down. Cartwright is there, but he got him.
Beautiful outlet pass by Kevin Greavy to the streaking Kevin Porter. Took it in on the 7-footer, Bill Cartwright.
15 points for little Kevin Porter. There's about a foot difference in height on that drive down the floor. Kevin Porter 7 of 10 shooting. 111 to 104. Ray Williams. Greavy got him and then made sure he got him again, and not too happy is Ray Williams. What was happening is Greavy made the foul. Then he wanted to be sure that Williams didn't shoot the ball, and he got a little too aggressive.
That's right, and that was the second time that's happened between the 2 of them down low, cutting through the lane. The last time down the floor, Williams threw his arms because Greavy had his hands on him defensively.
There's the veteran Holtzman talking to Ray Williams, settling him down.
And you know that Holtzman is telling Williams right now, don't let this get to you. He's going to try and play you like that. They want you to get thrown out of the game. Williams came back with his left arm. Now watch Greavy come through, and Elvin Hayes on the play, making sure that Williams didn't get the shot.
Now, wait a minute. They're saying he wasn't shooting the ball, huh? Boy, that's a hard one to believe.
Well, they call the contact out by the free throw line before he turned to the basket.
Well, and that turns out to be a big play in this game. Up to Kevin Porter. Porter down. He's fouled by Merriweather.
And the goaltending is called. They call, instead of the foul, they called the goaltending.
And goaltending. goaltending now has cut it to 111 to 106, and the Bullets are very much in this basketball game.
Take another look. Kevin Porter setting up Ray Williams on the outside. As Merriweather comes over to help out, the ball hit the board. It was a good call.
Immediately following the conclusion of this game, shooting percentages, New York 71% in the second half. Let's look at that foul that was so controversial.
That was a call back on the outside, late call, and then Elvin Hayes puts a crunch on Williams, and Kevin Greavy did a little bit. A lot of people coming over to break that up quickly inside.
I want to correct something I said earlier. I said the Knicks and Bullets will play in the Garden the 23rd. In fact, it's a Saturday game, March 22nd, so check your tickets if you're going to be in the Garden. And there's some other scores. We'll keep you updated on what's happening. Boy, we are coming down to the end. 2 weeks from today, the regular season is all over. Michael Ray Richardson, it's tough inside. He follows his own shot.
Oh, that's great effort by Richardson. Tough shot putting it up the first time and then getting the offensive rebound. Richardson and Williams again just playing great basketball.
Now the Bullets have moved Greavy to a forward now. They have Williamson and Porter at guards. They tried that combination one time in the first half. It's a long ways for Kevin Porter. Rebound, Bill Cartwright. Michael Ray Richardson with 5:26 remaining. What a job he has done. 18 points. Porter trying to stay with him. Toby Knight continues to hit. I think he has a license on that area of the field or of the court.
He's got a license whenever he catches the ball.
He now has 25 points. Toby's high for the year is 34. Unseld. Up to Kevin Greavy. Greavy has it blocked that time by Toby Knight. And Greavy upset. He thought he should have gotten the foul, but that again shows you when Greavy moves to forward, he draws that big man defensively.
He does, and New York just great defense. Again, Toby Knight coming up with that block shot.
Unseld reached in, but Richardson came back with it. And that has been the story all afternoon long, is the quick hands of Richardson. He's got to put it up with 3 seconds on the shot clock. Williams follows.
How about Ray Williams, the small guard going inside with all of those big bullets on the board, and he went up above them all to tip that ball in.
33 points for the former Minnesota standout. And pushing and shoving between Hayes and Merriweather and some angry people right now. Hayes will be going to the line. Red Holtzman, I think, felt that his man was not treated fairly in that situation.
That's putting it mildly.
And Merriweather, I think, got hit in the mouth there, looking him over. Trainer Mike Saunders out there. You don't think this is a tough game to play? No contact at all.
It's a non-contact sport. As you see blood in Merriweather's mouth.
This guy's been banged up. He got hit in the mouth earlier, as we mentioned. He's had the knee that's giving him a difficult time. But the bottom line is Elvin Hayes is going to be at the free throw line. Hayes with 36 points and 12 rebounds. Merriweather says something to Hayes as he returns to his position, as Greg Ballard now will check in. They're going to go back now to 2 guards. Greavy will move back to guard as Ballard comes in for John Williamson.
Merriweather still talking to the official down there. When I was saying earlier about the contact that goes on whenever Elvin Hayes is trying to set up down low for that position. Sometimes Elvin comes down and gets a little rambunctious with those arms.
You see what Elvin has done today. Merriweather fighting for the rebound with Richardson. 4:19 remaining. 117 to 107. Richardson, Porter on him. Porter really playing tough. He used that dribble up, and all of a sudden he swarms all over him. Here's Ray Williams. He's incredible today. 35 points.
There's just nothing you can do defensively as a team. The Bullets right now, when guys are shooting that well, you just play them as tough as you can and just wait for them to cool off.
Did you see that pick by Unseld that time? That was a teeth rattler. Here's Hayes coming away with it. He shot that ball, hardly had it loaded up. Greavy trying to force it up against Cartwright. Richardson saves it, but Ballard comes away with it.
Great play by Ballard. You know how tough it is to catch a ball full speed from that distance?
6 points in the game for Unseld. 119 to 109, a 10-point spread. Williams to try another one. 37 points for Ray Williams. His high for the year is 39. He is 5 of 5 in this 4th period. And he shot him from everywhere on the floor. Greg Ballard answers.
Greg Ballard with 2 in a row. Nice play that last time and a good shot. 10-point lead.
And there's our leading scorers. You can see co-leaders now, Williams and Hayes. Ballard with 10 points. What a game this has been. Excellent play here in this fourth period. Richardson across the middle. And it's going to be embarrassed if you missed a shot in this game. There's your time remaining.
If it's not one of them, it's another. It's Toby Knight or Cartwright.
Hayes at the other end.
Well, that's what Red Holtzman has been wanting with this young team, to get them to play as a team. And, boy, they're doing it today. This is a great example of a terrific young team.
39 points now for the Big E. Ray Williams. He's in trouble, and he's been fouled. Kevin Porter and Ballard both reaching in. It's going to be Porter with the foul, as Red Holtzman not comfortable yet with 2:27 left in this game. A 10-point lead, but we have seen this game pivot twice. Just complete reversal of form. Doral Open coming up next. The Golden Bear, Jack Nicklaus with the lead. The last we checked that leaderboard, a one-stroke lead through 9. 38 points now for Ray Williams. There's his average. Hayes off to Kevin Porter. Boy, the pace has really been something. Porter going to take it in, changed hands, couldn't get it to go though. Merriweather brings it out. Good effort by Kevin Porter.
Nice drive coming down the lane, creating situations. And that's not a good play by Porter in the backcourt. He'll send Michael Ray Richardson to the line for 2.
That's a couple of times we've seen those backcourt fouls against Washington. And Michael Ray Richardson will go to the line. There is Kevin. I would imagine that Kevin Porter's going to see a lot of minutes in the last 2 weeks of this regular season because he's been a factor today.
You bet. The Knicks doing a tremendous job on the boards here. The Bullets are the best rebounding team in the NBA at 50 a game. New York 34 for the game, and Washington only has 28.
The penalty in, so he has one more coming. 3 to make 2. Of
course, with the way the Knicks are shooting that ball, there aren't a whole lot of rebounds to be had.
Outstanding performance, and I think it really speaks well of the character of this ball club after losing that tough one last night in the Garden. Coming here on the road and playing like they're playing today.
That's really a good point for a young team like New York is.
Elvin Hayes, follow-away jumper against Merriweather, and Elvin Hayes now with 41. That is one below his high for the year. At 42 points earlier this year against Detroit. Richardson off to Toby Knight. Knight has an open shot. Unseld. Boy, did he just one-arm that one out of here. Here comes Kevin Porter. Porter giving off to Hayes. Hayes is fouled by Toby Knight. The basket will not count. It's a loose ball foul.
And that was actually a good foul by Toby Knight, fouling Elvin before he had a chance to turn to.
Elvin Hayes at the line with 41, and that point ties his seasonal high. He has 42 points, 17 of 25 from the field. He's now 5 of 6 from the field in this fourth quarter. That's a high for the year, 43 points for Elvin Hayes. What a job this man has done for the Washington Bullets. 126 to 117, a minute 30 left in the game. Kevin Greavy, Williams out to Richardson. The Knicks in no hurry right now. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Toby Knight is hammered by Greg Ballard. Ballard coming across, making body contact.
Knicks playing very smart basketball here with a minute 20 to go in the game. Holding the ball up, Richardson that time until they got a good shot. And when you get it to Toby Knight anytime in this game, it's been a good shot.
The penalty in, 3 to make 2. That was the 3rd foul now on Greg Ballard. You know, you don't hear a lot about Toby Knight, but Bill Sharman said this, and you know Bill very well. He says that Toby has a chance to be one of the best in the NBA.
That's right. He's a great judge of talent. Tremendous scoring. 27 points by Toby Knight, 38 by Williams, and 17 assists by Michael Richardson.
17 assists. That's the reason he leads the league, huh? There it is, a fine assist from Porter. Unseld is foul. They're going to know. They're going to say goaltending.
Good call by Bill Oakes right underneath the basket, right on top of that play. Toby Knight again giving good help defensively on Wes Unseld as he had beat Cartwright, but he pinned the ball to the basket.
You can see why last year Kevin Porter had 1,099 assists playing for Detroit.
And that's the first time that anybody has ever broken 1,000 assists for one season.
Tiny Archibald had that record, I believe, before. 128 to 119. There's your time remaining. Michael Ray Richardson long ways out as the shot clock was winding down. Kevin Porter at the other end. He's going to take it in. He had Richardson intimidate him, and Kevin thought he might have been fouled, but Richardson waited and played a very cagey game that time.
And tremendous defensive play by Richardson.
Kevin Greavy with the foul. We have seen some basketball today that I'm sure people have enjoyed as much as they've enjoyed all year long. Our executive producer is Charles Milton. Our producer, Perry Smith. Our director is Bob Dunphy. Our associate producer is Ernie Bauer. Thank you, men. This has been a game that's been a lot of fun to do. Richardson, 22 points. And the Knicks, after that disappointment last night, winning here a big game in this battle to get into the playoffs. Knicks will have 3 home games remaining. Unseld.
Can you believe that? You pick anybody on the team that you don't expect to make a three-pointer, and that's Wes Unseld, and he sure did it there.
He'll be laughing about that one. 129 to 120, a 9-point lead. Cartwright trying to kill some time. He's fouled by Ballard. So Bill Cartwright will go the line, but this is one guy that's pretty good at that line, shooting the 80%. And this man in most years probably would be Rookie of the Year. But the way Bird and Magic Johnson have played, you know, it's going to be hard for him to capture that on him. He has 22 points himself, but go along with that, he has 8 rebounds. It shows you what tremendous first-year men have come into the league this year.
You believe the balance on this team today? Cartwright now has 24 points. Michael Ray Richardson has 23. Toby Knight 25, and Ray Williams 38.
And it's 131 to 122. Porter will go in. They'll let him have it uncontested as the time remaining 10 seconds. Williams off to Michael Ray Richardson. Great effort by both these teams. There's the foul by Elvin Hayes with 4 seconds left in this game. What a fight this is going to be, Keith, the next 2 weeks. As you look, we had 2 games separating those 5 teams trying to claim the remaining 3 spots in the Eastern Conference.
Boy, how big a win this is for the Knicks, especially, as you've said, coming back after at home last night, being beaten by the Boston Celtics, coming into Washington, where they've won 9 out of their last 13 games.
Richardson with 24, now with 25 points, 133 to 124. Greavy will put one up. Three-pointer, he didn't get it away in time. And so the New York Knicks, after trailing at halftime by 12 points, come thundering back in this game to take a 133 to 124 victory after losing by 3 points last night to the Boston Celtics. And Washington, after a big win Friday night against the Houston Rockets, find themselves losing here, as this Washington team now has 4 games at home remaining. They have 5 on the road. They play more home games than anybody of those remaining 5 teams that are trying to get into the final 3 playoff spots. So that does work to their advantage, even though they have lost here today. Immediately following the conclusion of all our NBA basketball coverage here on CBS, we'll have some golf coming your way. The Doral Open. We've had a very busy day today with 3 games going your way on CBS. Phoenix and Los Angeles, a big game being played in Milwaukee as Kansas City and Milwaukee, the winner of that game, moving into first place in the Midwest Division. But Keith, as you look at this game, this was kind of a character test for the New York Knicks, and they certainly came away with a good grade.